Say greetings, good evening, how you doing? Welcome to Beyond Ringside Live. No, seriously, really, we're here, I promise. 22nd day of July, calendar year 2026. From the undisclosed location, yours truly, the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Study Layne, being joined by a tag team partner from the Peach State, the promoter, the trivia master, Shane Noles. What's up, man?
Very thankful that you and I are still employed by Beyond Ringside. We were not part of the layoffs that included Bart Scott, David Lloyd, Cam Newton, Ryan Clark, and Carl Ravitch.
Oh, that whole situation with ESPN is just like, really? And then lo and behold, you're going to give Ding Dong a $20 million. Well, let's see who's drawing the numbers and who's not. Although I hate to see Ravitch being one of the ones laid off. I always thought he was a very talented sportscaster, and also very good on play-by-play and a good color analyst too, depending on the situation in which he's booked.
You just took what I was going to say. Everything he did. I mean, the face of their baseball coverage for over 25 years, and as ESPN has went away from a partnership with Major League Baseball. But Ravitch was also good on the NFL and SportsCenter. I think he'll be employed tomorrow by Fox or MLB Network if he wants to.
You know, it's funny because I keep seeing all this stuff going around regarding the attempts at a new collective bargaining agreement. And I really have to sit back and go, okay, are we just going to let everybody know now that the possibility of a strike is more than just a possibility? Or a work stoppage, I should say. Go ahead.
Correct. And I don't think the landscape, people didn't like it in 1994. From what I've seen, it's more apathetic this go around. People are just in a I don't care type thing. I mean, baseball was very fortunate off the work stoppage strike of 1994 when Cal Ripken's pursuit of Lou Gehrig's most consecutive game streak took place, and then Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire with a home run chase, think of that what you will, in 1998. With the temperature and the climate of the economy this time, I don't know. Look, it's not going to matter if Shohei Ohtani comes out and hits 5 home runs in a game.
Right. Or
someone throws a no-hitter with 12 strikeouts. I just think the attitudes have changed among the public. And, again, this is just a guy from Alabama saying this on the air. If I were baseball, I'd be very careful because you are behind the NFL in a major way that you were not in 1994. That the last time this happened. You're already losing traction along with the NBA and even to a degree, soccer. I think this would be the death knell of baseball, but we've talked about this on the program before. They don't market their stars anymore. You don't see baseball players in commercials. You don't see a ton of household names. Now, certainly if you wager, you play fantasy sports or you watch highlights, you know, maybe a good round of players, but again, this has been going on now for over 6 months. It's starting to come more and more into the limelight. I just can't believe that they would actually let it get to a work stoppage. Even the Los Angeles Dodgers, who spend more money than any other club, have gone on record as saying they're in favor of a salary cap.
Should have been in place years ago. That's the easy way for me to say it. That should have been in place years ago because the longer you let something go, it's kind of like with the owner situation. You've got, okay, take a breath, Eddie. Here we go. When you let a situation go unchecked, the free market does not always take care of overall situations on its own. Because if you don't have something in place to where everybody knows here's the limit. I'm going to use a really crappy comparison in my world that'll probably get me kicked off ESPN. Bite me. Lo and behold, it's if you take that 65 mile an hour speed limit off of the interstate. Well, if I'm content to drive in the right-hand lane, off-ramp nowhere in sight, and I'm going 75 miles an hour in that right-hand lane, well, somebody in a Corvette comes flying up behind me doing 90, and wants to blow their horn at me when they could just as easily go around, we going to have a scrap on the interstate. But once again, neither of us are already doing 65. It's gone. There is no speed limit. But lo and behold, you've got people who's like, I can go 95 and I don't care. I can go 75 and I don't care. Go around me. It's a horrible comparison, and I knew it would be. But it's like, how soon before people start going, well, I can go 120. Screw y'all. If you take the speed limit off, stupidity will abound one way or the other. And I'm saying, okay, you got one team that can afford the Toyota Camry, the other one that can afford the Bentley, the other that can afford the rebuilt and revamped 86 Ferrari, that Lamborghini Countach 5000S, my car. And although I would not have had it in red like I once sat in, give me, I don't know what color I'd want it this week, probably regal blue. But this has needed to be in place. Look, football has a salary cap. Major League, the NFL has a salary cap. Nobody in their right mind right now has sat back and said, it's the end of the world. There's a cap on how much a company can spend. Right. Because, case point scenario, how much are tickets right now in certain markets? Because the old school, go ahead.
Quote Eddie Layne, way too damn high.
Pretty much. Saturday night's main event high or SummerSlam high?
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get into that. Have you seen the SummerSlam tickets?
Not in the last 72 hours.
To the effect of, this is a 70,000 seat stadium. Here's the Eddie Layne Hart segue. SummerSlam is 2 nights, Saturday, August 1st, Sunday, August 2nd. As of Monday, 22,000 sold for night 1, 21,000 for night 2.
Okay. I'm going to
That's tough.
Say what now?
That's tough. And it goes back to my major thing. You and I have talked about it on this very program alongside Ted Guinness. People can't afford WWE pricing.
Obviously, the idiots are out in full force because I'm looking at the Ticketmaster map for the for August 1st right now, and second row seats are still available right now. $3,315 second row. That I believe is going to be not necessarily. It may be across from hard cam because everything on that what would normally be hard cam is sold out. Section A1, row 6, seat 1 on the aisle, $3,315. They've done dumber. I mean, lo and behold, I believe Saturday night's main event, the ticket prices were a little bit different on that one, and this is SummerSlam, and this is not a 2-night package. This is just for Saturday, August 1st. And it's saying 4:30 p.m. start time. It's like, you know something, because they were doing there it is, until August 2nd. In other words, you can buy a 2-day combo package after the first day is transpired. Wow. But lo and behold, it's a case of the floor seats don't look like there's that many left, and I don't know how many of those are being held for the 2-night packages, if they are being held for 2-nighters. But lo and behold, let's see, hotel ticket and hotel package. Wait a minute, Ticketmaster is featuring a WWE SummerSlam 2-day combo, official WWE ticket hotel package. Wow. Okay, that's going to save some people one step. If you want to spend that money on that, more power to you, kids. I would rather take the money and spend it this coming weekend up in North Carolina, which Shane is going to be coming back around about in just a few minutes on that one. But coming back to the Major League Baseball thing for a hot second, both sides, look, I'm not delusional. I'm going to sit back and say, when it comes to contract negotiations, both sides are going to look out for themselves first. The owners, of course, are going to do everything they can to make it look like they have the best interest of the players in their hearts, where they're looking out for their own asses, trying to make sure they can stay open next year. The Players Association is going to sit back and say, well, we're trying to work with the owners every way possible, but they just won't concede to our demands. I mean, they just won't acquiesce. I mean, they won't give up. I mean, they... So both sides have to find a common ground. And once again, it's a case of Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox, the major market teams. They're going to say that they have the best interest at heart of the smaller market teams as well. I've yet to genuinely see how that truly works out. Shane? Care to jump in on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to go back to the SummerSlam portion of it. It goes right into baseball too. And they're not the only two establishments that would be guilty of this. Man, economy, prices across the board. And to be fair, AEW, I think, has only sold about 25,000 seats for Wembley, and that holds 90,000.
Yeah.
So we're less than 2 weeks away. This is just a fair question. I know there'll be discounted deals 48 hours before, 24 hours before, day of. But based on the trajectory we're going, could SummerSlam in a 70,000 seat stadium maybe, and I'm not dismissing this as a piss poor crowd, but could they be at 35, 36, half capacity? Because, boy, there's going to have to be some tricky setups with the stage or some tricky camera angles for that not to look like the Superdome for Steamboat Flair 2 in 89.
Yeah, I'm looking at AEW Redemption from the Bell Center at Montreal, Quebec, and some of those tickets, and once again, this is Canadian, it's $113.25, and that is, it says row J, which there's the seats for this are actually selling at a good clip too. I don't know about the Wembley situation yet. According to a report that I read, I can't remember the source, so please don't kill me, that there was apparently, after Saturday night's main event, a small surge in the amount of in ticket sales. Well, that's great. That's wonderful. I'm cool with that. I mean, look, I don't want to see any pro wrestling company go out of business.
Nope, not rooting for that.
Never going to root for that. What I would love to see is sold out houses where it is people who can actually afford to go to these events and not just a once a year, oh, this is going to be my dream vacation. Oh, wait, no, I can go to SummerSlam for the same amount of money. I'm sorry. Legitimately speaking, if it comes down to spending a week on the Redneck Riviera down in Panama City Beach, Florida, or going to a one-day trip to SummerSlam, I'm sorry, I'm going to the beach. That's just me. I don't care if it's...
We will change the name of the program to Beyond Beachside.
Yay! Hey, look, I have connections in Panama City Beach. I can get this done live from down there, too. Here's about 9 places in Birmingham I could get. I could do it in Mobile, Gulf Shores, and Orange Beach.
We will go on location, Beyond Ringside, broadcast on the beach.
Hey, look, if I wasn't trying to rebuild still after a situation that transpired at the top of the year, I would be taking this weekend off and having my fat ass up in North Carolina, right along beside you, my brother. But
man, I would love nothing more.
Oh, it'd be a trip. It'd be a hoot. And it's coming back to let's fade back off SummerSlam for a hot second because we just passed Saturday night's main event. Now, I did not get a chance to ask you pre-show how much you've been able to take in from this past Saturday night at MSG.
Unfortunately, that would be the Smashing Pumpkins song "Zero."
Okay. Let me go ahead and jump in on this one for a hot second because I do have to sit back and say, and I've said this on social media and I've said this on another show, where WWE actually showed me that they can still use Saturday night's main event as a viable form of entertainment. I did not say in the least pro wrestling. I did not say sports entertainment. I said for entertainment purposes. I did not watch the women's tag team title match. I'm just still at a point where, for as much as I appreciate Fatal and as much as I'm really good with Paige, I'm still just not a Bella watcher in any capacity whatsoever. There's nothing they could do to the only thing worse right now than a Bella is Liv Morgan. I made some very clear-cut comments on the Fast Study Layne Facebook page that have been getting a little bit of a quiet response, some behind the scenes, instead of people wanting to start a firefight on my page, which is a smart thing you don't want to do. The tag match that where Aldis interjected right at the end, I thought was well played. I do want to go ahead and stop for a second, hard segue, and bring you back in on this one because now it has been brought to light and pen to paper. Courtesy of the situation that transpired the next day at the SummerSlam kickoff show, which was a cool thing to see, we will be watching Gunther, the ring general, and I'm going to say it the way Triple H thought about saying it. Now, granted, I can't read Paul Levesque's mind. I will not profess to do that, but that pregnant pause that he put just before saying Nick Aldis made me think he was going to say the crown jewel Nick Aldis. So you have the ring general versus the crown jewel. You have Gunther versus Aldis. Your thoughts right off the bat on that match for SummerSlam, brother?
You know, we speculated that it was coming. I'm glad to see that it is actually going to come to fruition. And my thoughts on this are, I know that Aldis had some injuries that kept him away from in-ring competition full time, where he probably still should be. But my initial thoughts on this were that a general manager position of authority figure like a Vince McMahon or an Eric Bischoff, or when Vader got into it with an elderly Gorilla Monsoon, any number of guys. This is a former NWA world champion who's not in his late 50s or 60s. You pick up what I'm laying down here. I'm hoping that this is a competitive match. Would it be easy for Gunther to come in and win in 3 to 4 minutes? Sure. But the old adage in professional wrestling, if you're good and Gunther's good at doing that, then you've beaten somebody. I would love to see this actually a good 10 to 13 minutes. And because, look, we know there's still a large seismic portion of the WWE audience who only knows Nick Aldis in a suit and tie.
Right.
They never saw his work as Magnus in TNA. They never saw him with the NWA. And again, he's not trying to make a name for himself in WWE, but I don't know how many more matches he would have besides this one. There's no doubt in my mind Gunther needs to go over, but I think Aldis needs to take him to the limit here and make him think about it, because for a dynamic going forward, someone in a position of authority and a talent, perhaps Gunther might be a little apprehensive in the future about coming at Aldis so quickly if he took it to him in this match.
You and I share the same mindset in that particular regard, because I'm going to go ahead and say, remember the fact that Adam Pearce actively left his boots in the ring and walked away from it. Granted, it wasn't, okay, I'm not going to put a qualifier on there, but Pearce has said he retired from in-ring. But if you notice, realistically speaking, Pearce and Aldis are both in excellent shape. I think both gentlemen could go at the drop of a hat, and Pearce is going to kill me for saying that. I would love to see, just for giggles, and I know I just killed it when I said that, but I wouldn't mind seeing I'll say it, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce as the special guest referee for the Gunther Aldis match. I believe it makes perfect sense. Now, you also have a bounce back factor where you have two gentlemen in the form of Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis who are former National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champions. You have a huge number of people that that step up to Pearce going, is there a chance of one more match? And Adam deflects that very nicely. And he does remind people on occasion that he left his boots in the ring. And I will also sit back and say this. For as much as I say that Paul Heyman should have for a long time been an Emmy consideration, I will offer that same statement up to Adam Pearce, because some of the moments that he has put out as far as being in the character, in the role of general manager, I believe are Emmy consideration worthy moments. the way that he carries himself on screen, the way that he delivers constantly, whether it be in a more mellow or comedic or serious or dramatic series. Lo and behold, I think Pierce should be in consideration for an Emmy as well. But go from there. Aldis, you can tell, keeps himself in very good condition. And Punk made the statement to Cody before the disappearing act, you never know when a championship opportunity is just going to fall out of the sky. Well, obviously, WWE storylines have a penchant for being planned out a little bit in advance so they can build their way into them. In this circumstance, I'm all completely on board with the Gunther Aldis matchup at SummerSlam. Remembering how good, look, folks, if you haven't seen him in ring, look for it. The footage is out there, YouTube, Daily Motion, all of the above. You're going to find some good matches. You may just find that Aldis Cody match, one of the two in particular, both revolving around the NWA World Title. So from that vantage point, I will sit back and say this could be a match that steals the show for the right reasons. Aldis is a talented in-ring competitor. What can you say about Gunther that hadn't already been said? The track record of this man on multiple continents just speaks for itself. So, legitimately, do I think Aldis would go over in this match? Disqualification? Maybe. Count out? Possibly. Pinfall? Doubt it. Submission? Doubt it. Straight shoot on that one, kids. But once again,
could we steal a finish from an old SummerSlam match?
Which one?
Lawler, Bret Hart, flip-flop it. Let Gunther have him in the choke. He's announced the winner. He will not let go of the hold for a long duration of time. The referee changes the decision. Aldis winner, if you want to continue a little something there.
Oh, trust me, they could do a 3-match series and nobody would blink. Legitimately, I think they could get 3 matches out of this. Folks, do me a favor, hang tight. We are going to take a quick one on the live side, about 4 minutes, on the replay side, about a minute and a half. This is Beyond Ringside Live.